If you're sick and tired of these dingy halogen lights on your 15 to 20 Tahoe, this video is for you. Today we're gonna go ahead and upgrade to the brand new Morimoto XB headlights. So follow me, I'm gonna show you step by step how to install them and what they look like compared to stock. Now, the Morimoto XB housings are a complete LED replacement. They use 3 LED projectors to give you an incredible low beam, a low beam that's extremely bright, so much brighter than your stock headlights. They use a bi-LED projector for your high beam. This produces a refined high beam that puts the light exactly where it needs to be on the road. This is gonna help you so you don't get eye fatigue. It's also gonna keep you safer on those long journeys. The width of the beam pattern of these LED projectors is insane. It is so much better than your stock headlights. I don't even know why are the new vehicles out there these days having such terrible lighting still. I feel like the Morimoto XB housings should have been on this truck from the factory. On the outside of the housing, they have that extremely bright white DRL. It goes all the way around the housing, right next to the LED side markers. There is a sequential turn signal feature on these as well, and just by switching one plug on the backside, it very well could be a standard blink option if that's what you like. There is a UV resistant polycarbonate lens, keeping these extremely durable. The inside is a beautiful piano black color, so it will match anything that you could throw at it. To top it all off, there is this startup feature. When you start your vehicle, your headlights will do this sequence of on and off. It's a beautiful feature that essentially just shows off. It has no value at all except for that it's cool. This is a Morimoto staple, as they've been doing it a long time in all of their housings. The Morimoto XB housings are completely plug and play. Measuring lux compared to lumens is so much better when it comes to comparing one headlight to the other. So this at 25 feet is what your halogen headlights look like. They come in at 250 maximum lux. I gotta admit, I've seen fog lights brighter than this, and this beam pattern is the last thing you want. There is absolutely no cutoff line. The width of this headlight is absolutely terrible. Also, the color is a thing of the past. When you flip on the low beam on your Morimoto XB headlights, they come in at a staggering 2040 maximum lux. That means that they are 716% brighter than your stock headlights. So is this an upgrade? Absolutely. If you're going off of light output alone, this is the reason to buy headlights like these. There's a cutoff line, so even though they're extremely bright, you're not blinding oncoming drivers. Also, the width. The width will really help you see into the ditches. Now, what about high beam? On high beam, your stock halogen lights come in at 930 maximum lux, and it's just a blob of light, still a terrible color. When you flip on the Morimoto XB headlights, they come in at a staggering 2,170 maximum lux. That's 133% brighter. 133% brighter is still an incredible improvement over your stock headlights. But more importantly, the high beam doesn't just produce a blob of light. It has controlled hotspots that put the light exactly where they need to be down the road. This is gonna help you avoid eye fatigue when you're driving long distances. The color is beautiful. This is everything you want in headlights. Remember, 80% of the time you're driving around with your low beams. These low beams coming in at 716% brighter. Obviously, this is a no-brainer when it comes to upgrading the headlights on your Tahoe. Before we begin, let me tell you the tools you're gonna need. You'll need a ratchet of your choice, a 7mm socket, a 10mm socket, a T20 Torx bit, and lastly, a few pry tools. So enough talking, let me show you guys how to actually install the XB headlights. First thing you're gonna do is pop this hood and remove 12 clips from the plastic top piece here. Now, starting on the driver's side, working your way to the passenger side, there is 12 push tabs, like I said. Use a pry tool like this. Go ahead and reach it into this little slot here. Pry this one out, and then pry that away. Do the same thing for the rest of them. Twelve push tabs removed. Go ahead and take this plastic cover and set it off to the side. Now go ahead and grab your 10mm socket. We're gonna be removing 6 bolts starting on one side and working your way over. So the bolts are out. Now go ahead and take that 10mm socket, switch it over to a 7, and then follow me over to the fender well on the driver's side. Now we have 6 7mm bolts we need to take off right here on the inner fender. That's because we are taking off the front bumper. So we're gonna do that over here and then do the exact same thing on the other side. I'm gonna start up here and work my way down. It might be a little bit hard to see on camera, but trust me, it's there. The other bolt is facing up here. I did say 6. This would be your 6th bolt right here. Once you got these bolts removed, go ahead and do the exact same thing on the other side. Then follow me to the front bumper where we're gonna remove 8 10mm bolts. Once you're underneath the vehicle, you'll notice that there's 2 bolts right here by the wheel, 1 right here, and then 1 right here, and then the same on the other side. Go ahead and remove those 10mm bolts now. Now all the bolts are removed from the underside. Now go ahead and take this bumper on each side of the truck and pull it towards you. As you can see, all of those clips will then be freed. Do the same thing on the passenger side. Now come to the center of the vehicle. We're gonna go ahead and grab the grill, give it a push, and then pry this one up, and the whole top of the grill is released. Now it feels like it wants to come off, but there's still 2 clips on the bottom side. There's one down here and one over here. Reach down in the middle of this grill with a long screwdriver or something, push that tab and pull it away. Now what you're gonna do is take your screwdriver and pry this black plastic piece up, and then, as you can see, it's free. Do the same thing on the other side. There's also 2 push tabs on each side. Go ahead and remove those while you're underneath here as well. There you are. Same thing on the passenger side. Now all of your bolts and push tabs are removed. Your bumper is ready to be pulled free from the truck. However, I would suggest getting a friend over here. Also, if you've got fog lights or the parking sensors, you will need to unplug this wire harness right here. It's very simple. All you gotta do is pull this red tab out. If you need a pry tool, that's just fine. Go ahead and pry that out, just like that. Tab removed, all you gotta do is pull it apart, just like that. Now here's a good time to have a friend because it is now completely free. Go ahead and grab that side and then pull it towards you and set off the whole bumper to the side. So your bumper is removed, now we get the fun part. We're gonna remove these stock crappy headlights. There's 4 10mm bolts. There's one up top, right here and here, one on the side and one down low. Let's go ahead and remove those now. With all 4 bolts removed, you can go ahead and pull this headlight out. It is now fully loosened up. Just like that, you only have 1 plug on the back side to remove. With that red locking tab pulled up, you can go ahead and pull it free. Now do the exact same thing on the other side. So your headlights are out. Before we run the DRL, we do have to transfer a bracket from the original headlight housing to the Morimoto XB. It's very simple. All you gotta do is lower these down, and there's 3 Torx bits here, as you can see. With those 3 removed, all you gotta do is go ahead and set it on the Morimoto XB headlight. It slides into place super easily. Now go ahead and take those 3 bolts, thread them in by hand, and then use your drill and tighten them down. It is just plastic, so don't go crazy with it. Don't tighten them down too hard. Now that your black bottom trim piece is transferred over to the Morimoto XB headlight, we only have one more thing to transfer over. They use 5 screws holding this piece of chrome on, and they're 5 T20 Torx bits just like the ones on the bottom. Remove all 5 of these screws, working on one side and working your way to the other. Now on your factory headlights, this plastic piece right here goes all the way around. That's not the case for the Morimoto XB headlights, so they do give you this other rubber piece. We'll put this rubber piece on after we transfer over the chrome piece over here. Now transferring over the chrome piece is super easy. Just set it on top of the headlight and put your 5 screws back in. There are 2 screws that only go into rubber, so just note that when you're putting this piece on. All right, so the chrome piece is transferred, the black plastic trim on the bottom is transferred. Now that this is all done, all you gotta do left is go ahead and run a DRL harness, and then you can plug this into your truck. Now that your headlights are removed, we're gonna go ahead and install the DRL harness. On the DRL harness, there is a fuse tap like this. This is gonna go into fuse area 75. There's gonna be a longer wire that's gonna go to your passenger side. We're gonna run it all the way over to the passenger side headlight, and then the shorter wire is gonna be ran to your driver's side headlight. This is gonna make sure that all of the Morimoto XB functions work properly. Let's go ahead and do that now. So let's do the fuse tap first. Work your way over to the fuse box and take the cover off by pulling these 2 tabs and pulling this away. Now, like I said, it's fuse number 75. It's gonna be right here. On this truck, it's right between these 2 blue fuses. So right here, this is number 75. All right, put your fuse tap in place, 75, give it a push. And we're gonna close the cover down over this, just like that. Now go and take your shorter wire and run it down to where your headlight's gonna be. And then take your longer wire, drape it over the engine over here. You can attach it later, but let's just get this to the other side. And there you are. You don't need much more than that. Your DRL harness is ran. Now go ahead and grab your headlight and plug it in. Plug it into this connector right here. Make sure you hear it click and push this red tab down. Now, the only other connection that you didn't have before is this one right here. This is gonna connect to that DRL harness you just ran. Go ahead and line up this waterproof connection. Make sure you hear it click. Now go ahead and take your headlight and plug it into the truck. Now it's just putting in a screw up top and doing the same thing on the other side. Now I only put in 1 bolt because I wanna do the passenger side as well. And then I wanna test everything to make sure the functions work properly. I also wanna make sure that the DRL is in the correct spot on the fuse box. And just like that, you guys have completely upgraded the front of your Tahoe. Go take this off-road and check out just how much better these are compared to what you had originally. Also, it's a good weekend project. If you want to see what else we have for your Tahoe, go to headlightrevolution.com, type in your year, make, and model, and you'll see everything there.